In this video, I'm going to show you how to start up a generator. This might sound pretty cheesy because you might be like, oh, it's just you pull a lever, turn a key, and it starts up. Our generator here, which I'll show you in a minute, we got it 2.5 years ago from some great friends of ours when we moved out to the country, like here. The guy who gave it to us, I think it was his dad's. He didn't need it. He was like, here, just have it for free. So we weren't going to turn down the offer. So here it is. So it's a home light with a, what is it? And it's got a Bridges installation engine. I don't know the year of this, but it looks good. Like, I think we can get it started. Might also have generators where if you've had one sitting out a long time, because most of the time you need them when your power's out, and that's when you need them most. And if they've been sitting out for a long time, they can develop problems in the magneto or electrical system, which so they don't get sparked that way, and they don't start. So I'm not going to be going through the magneto. I assume ours is fine. I don't know that. I'm going to show you how to test for spark on one of these. I'm going to pull off the carburetor and check it. Check the air filters. But the first step here, as you might have seen, I'll show you again, is its amount of dust. It's got so much dust just from sitting here in our dusty barn. I had to scrape away thick, clotted up dirt or dust to find the model so I could do a research on this thing. A few weeks ago, we got a super strong wind, like almost never happened. It was like 60, 70 miles an hour winds, gusts. They were insane. It blew so many trees over on our property, and we had a ton of meat in our freezers. And we're like, is all meat gonna go bad? So I was like, oh, I forgot about our generator. We didn't hook it up then. We didn't need to. Power came back on, thankfully. But in case that doesn't happen and your power does go out for days, I'm gonna show you what to do and how to, tune up your generator, basically, if it's been sitting for a long time. So I'm gonna go wash this thing off really quick. One thing to remember on these generators is they do have a very big electrical system, so if you have a pressure washer or something, make sure you're not getting those electrical components too wet or anything. Just lightly go over them. So just wash the amount of dirt that comes off this thing. Well, let's take this thing back inside and dive right into it. Okay, so it is the next day. Last night when I was washing our home light generator, it was like 4 o'clock, so it was pretty cold out. It's like the end of November. Today's actually Thanksgiving. So it gets dark really early. My camera battery was about to die, and I was like, I'm just gonna call it a day. So we're here at a new day, pretty early, around, what is it? Yeah, 9:45. So I got it in here. There was some, looked to be oil all around the carburetor. Here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that, but see all that oil? All that black stuff around it? That was all oil. So I was out here cleaning it, and it was cold. I was like, I'm just gonna call it a day. So that might look different, but I just cleaned a little bit of it. So first thing to do, if your generator has been sitting for a long time, and I don't even know if this will run, first thing you want to do is check for spark. That is what will determine if your engine will run or not. There's quite a few other things, but that is the major thing. So we're gonna check for that really quick. That shouldn't take too long, and then I'm gonna jump into the carburetor. I just want to check that the electrical system is magneto for the ignition and everything. If you have a newer generator, it might be a little different or updated. This is also a carburetor. Again, I don't know if the newer ones are still carbureted or something else. So I'm just gonna check for spark, and then we're gonna quickly pull off the carburetor and just check it, make sure it's not dirty. Check the fuel. So let's check the spark really quick. So this is our spark plug wire. Come on. This is our actual spark plug. This is a single cylinder, so it only has one. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see the lighting in there. See, there you go, that's better. So it's just that, and that goes down into the head, and that's what essentially keeps the engine running. Without that, the engine wouldn't move, it wouldn't run at all. So I'm gonna pull that off really quick, and then we'll see if it has any spark. It should. I mean, I think I already said this, but our friends gave it to us, so I don't know what the condition it's in, but it should be fine. Like, I'm sure if we opened it, it needed a little cleaning, but it should give us enough spark to run it. That's for sure. If you're taking off spark plugs, this is a, what is this? 13/16 inch, literally says spark plug adapter. It has a little rubber padding inside to help protect that little thing at the top of the spark plug. That's where the actual wire goes on, so it just protects that. Those are pretty nice, and they all fit like every spark plug. So here's our spark plug. All those points in there look good. If they're corroded over with carbon or melted, you're gonna need to buy a new one. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see. My camera isn't focusing. Come on, focus. Erg. That little thing that comes up and over, if between those two gaps, focus camera, focus, right there, yeah, come on. I think he's not focusing, that's annoying. Wow. This is a nice stereo. There's a little gap up there. It's really hard to see. Man. But, anyways, you want to check there for spark. I'll have an arrow on the screen when I'm editing, so just watch the end of that arrow. And there should be, oh come on, you bugger. Wires like this are weird. There we go. See if I can, there we go. On. There we go. So check right where the arrow is. Check for a little spark. Also, I forgot, this is your on and off switch that turns off the spark. Spark, no spark. The words are behind it. That might be hard to find if it's buried in dust, so make sure that's in the on position. Otherwise, you will see no spark and will lead to a bunch of extra time and trying to figure out what it is. So, watch right there. Ready? Oh, shoot, it's in the opposition. There we go. Now you should see it. Right at the end of it. Watch right there. Ready? You'll see that little spark? That's good. Sweet. We're in business in that area. So, let me pop this on really quick. These wires, be careful in here. They're very fragile, so don't, I had to bend it a little bit, but just be very careful when putting them on. Make sure that you're not just crimping it on there. Make sure that this is on straight and goes on right. Those spark plug wires are not too hard to to get or find, but it is a not. It takes time to replace them, and that's not what we want today. So as you can see, I'm just gonna gently straight on there. Sweet. Now let's move to the carburetor. So this is our air filter little housing. This screws off. So this is all part of the carburetor. The air gets filtered in here and drawn to the bottom, filtered in here, and then goes into the carburetor where it's mixed with the fuel, and then it's sucked into the engine and burned. Without that, the engine, well, couldn't even run. So take this off real quick. Wow, that's actually a little wing nut here. That's like from the looks of it, that's in good condition. It's got a little dust on the bottom of it. I'll show you in a minute. But that is very usable condition. If yours is dirty and needs replacing, just search up the engine. Just search up the brand and model, and you should find what you're looking for. They're meant to be pretty universal, so that it's not a treasure hunt every single time you have to replace one of these. Okay, here we go. Just be gentle with them. You don't want to bend those. I don't know what you call those little folds of the filter element. As you can see, there's a little bit of dirt on the bottom right there. So I'm just gonna quickly blow this out. Just when you blow from the inside out, and just to get all the stuff, because it sucks it in this way, so you want to blow all that out. So I'm gonna blow this out really quick. Wow, like no dirt came out of that. Pretty amazed. I'm also just gonna blow off this little thing that the filter goes on. Just a little bit of dirt up there. Sweet. Just when you're blowing, don't blow down in there. You will get dirty air into the carburetor, and the dirty air can maybe get sucked into the engine. It won't cause immediate damage, but it will cause long-term damage that could result in total engine failure. So that's pretty important. So it's time to get this whole filter housing off. It looks like this screw, I don't know if you can see at the bottom there, there's this, here, I'll zoom in to show you. At the bottom, there's this piece runs all the way up to through this, tube, and it looks like it goes over here. This bolt, that looks like it holds that screw in here, and we have to take that out and then pull this off. That also looks like it holds on the bottom of the carburetor, so that's gonna have to come off anyway. So let's pull that off really quick. So make sure it's in the off. Come in and screw that off. There we go. I'm pretty excited to get this thing fired up, hopefully. I mean, it's not like a huge engine, it's not exhilarating as an old, tractor or truck that hasn't been started in years. But still. So, let's see here, come on. There we go. See, now this whole metal thing slides out. And now, we are free to pull off this tube housing right here. Oh, whoops. One more screw up there. And this is the time when you want to use one of these small little screwdrivers. This one has an adjustable bit, and a normal screwdriver wouldn't even fit in here. So this is real nice. There we go. Let's pull this off. Just be gentle, just want to gently slide it off. Sweet. Wow. My rubber O-ring is not much left of it, that's for sure. But it'll keep air from coming in right there, that's for sure. So, looks like we got this one screw right here, and then the carburetor should just pop right off. There we go. There is a little paper seal right here, so just be careful. You don't want to rip that off. Make sure that you get it intact. Oh shoot. I forgot to remove that fuel line. That looks like it goes to the carburetor. Well, that's fine. That's actually kind of nice. That way I don't have to check the fuel tank, because I can just, it has a little petcock to let the fuel come out of here, and I can just let that go and see what the fuel quality is, and it'll tell me if our petcock is clogged. Huh. 2 birds for 1 stone, eh? Oh, is it off? It's off all right. I'm gonna get a pair of pliers. There we go. Wow. Oh, these are, oh no. Our throttle linkages still connect. I wish I could show you. It looks, here. Can I show you? No, I don't think I can. It's right behind here. It's this little, there we go. It's this little thing right here. You just gotta maneuver it on. I'm sure you'll see. Anyways, wow. I think I found what all that gunk down there was. Looks like this thing was just torn up and was leaking fuel from that little spout all the way down, and got dust on it, and that's what it looks like. I think we found our culprit. I'm just gonna, this hose is actually in medium condition. It's pretty cracked. It'll hold. I'm just gonna cut off this end, and because we got a lot of slack in here still, just make sure that you have slack so that you don't have to order a whole new pipe. So I'm gonna go take this carburetor to our workbench and crack it open from there. So, hey guys, I'm at my little desk editing this video, and I realized taking apart the carburetor and assembling it took up like maybe 20 minutes of the video, so it was getting close to an hour long. And when I took apart the carburetor, for some reason I couldn't get it apart. I looked down the fuel passage, and the air intake looked as shiny, like it looked brand new. So I ended up taking it apart. So I'm not gonna put that in, and I'm not gonna put in the part of me putting the carburetor back on the generator, just because it's the same thing as getting it off. You do the same steps over and over. You just, like, you retrace your steps back of how you took it off. So I'm not gonna put that in, just so it's, I'm not boring you there, having you guys watch me put that on. I don't feel that's important. If you want, comment down below, and I can make a video where I do assemble a carburetor. Probably not that one, but I have an old Ford 8N tractor carburetor sitting in our shop that I can take apart and show you how everything works and clean it up for you if you want to see that. So just comment down below if you want to see that. I just wanted to let you guys know that. So enjoy the video. I forgot to say this in the video, but if it's not starting and you've done everything correctly, it's probably your gas. So you could have no gas in the tank, it could have gone bad, which is most likely. Your fuel petcock could be clogged or closed, so check those. This is just me fiddling with the throttle. I haven't seen one or a carburetor that automatically regulates itself like this, so I wouldn't tamper with it. It's probably better if you don't. Also, as I'll mention in a minute, it blew out quite a bit of oil. I think that was when I was washing it. I got water in the muffler, so I think all that soot in there turned wet and looks like oil, so I think that it was just blowing that out. Also probably blew out some actual oil in the cylinder just from sitting so long. So I'm confident that was it. As soon as I open up the choke, it runs clear. Runs great without any stalling, so that's what I had to say. Probably doesn't automatically. Okay, we go, ready? On position. Ether. Here we go. Hang on, I don't know if that's good or not. Huh. I'm dripping fuel pretty bad. Huh. I don't know. It blew out a ton of oil. I think it's burning some. That's not good. We also got a little drip out of the carburetor. I don't know why. Wow. I don't know. Let's give it one more shot. I might just need to burn something out of there. If it starts sounding bad, I'll shut it down. Don't worry. Great news, everybody. I think there's just some oil in the cylinders, because when I opened up opened up the choke, it didn't blow any more oil out. It was actually running pretty clean there. I'm stoked, guys. I think this thing works great. You might see some smoke out of there. I just running oil, or it was. I also sprayed some water in there when I was washing it by accident, so that could be some of it. There's a weird drip out of the carburetor whenever I turn it off. Huh. Here, I'll get out and show you. Hang on, I'm just getting my camera off the tripod. But, so as you can see, that is just oil that blew out. It looks like that was just some oil in the cylinder head. Anyway, so it looks like that's it. So it's not that bolt that we took out, right? There's another little. It's factory for sure. Like, they shoved copper wires in there for some reason, and it only drips for a second whenever I turn it off. I don't know if that's normal, but it's not dripping constantly or when it's running. So I'm assuming that's all good. You got your 4 power inputs. Yeah, I think this thing's good to go, boys and girls. I think this thing will run just fine. It sounded really good. It wasn't missing or anything. I'll put you back on the tripod. I'm just gonna get the oil or air filter back on, and we should be good to go. I think that's pretty much it, guys. So about that weird drip out of the carburetor, I was looking on my other 50s tractor carburetor. It has the same thing. They shove small copper wires straight up through an open hole, and I think that's when the engine's running and the fuel's leaving the carburetor. When you shut it off, the fuel doesn't go up anymore, so I think it falls down, and that wire keeps air from going in, but the fuel can drain, so it doesn't sit there at the bottom and get old and permit hard starting. That's the only reason I can think of. That would make sense. But for some of you guys out there might know more. That's just what it looks like to me. So thanks so much for watching, and remember to tickle that subscribe button.